I see the leader of the opposition is taking issue. Apparently, there's some claim in the public domain right now that the government is sidelining private media and is only allowing TTT to cover certain events and so on, right? Mm-hmm. So apparently on Saturday, I think when they had the repatriation exercise for the Venezuelans, some 700 Venezuelans went back home, and I think only TTT covered it. And then the minister is saying that the footage was available to be shared with other media houses, but that didn't sit well. So I'm seeing where Rhoda Barrett, mm-hmm. who runs News Source, she would have given an update on it, and she says the person who first raised the issue was Kijan Haynes. I believe Kijan Haynes has a program on Louis Leasing's television station, WESN.
Okay.
And Rhoda says the event began at 6 a.m. Kijan and his crew arrived at 9:30 a.m. The event was organized by the Venezuelan government, not the government of Trinidad and Tobago. The Venezuelan government did not want footage that depicted its nationals in any dehumanized fashion. The Venezuelan government issued invites to the event, not the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And once immigrants arrived at the port, it was essentially an immigration center. Unauthorized video and photos are not allowed in an immigration center. Only TTT was authorized to take footage, and the footage they took was of the vessel docking and the immigrants arriving. No footage of immigrants being processed was allowed. All media present was allowed to interview the ambassadors and ministers present. She describes the type of behavior that Kijan is on, but of course that is not radio friendly, so I will not repeat that. But it's interesting to see the leader of the opposition jump to the defense of the media, right? Again, because she sees this as an opportunity to bolster her case and her party's narrative that this government is dictatorial and that Dr. Rowley is a dictator, and they're stifling freedom of the press and they're attacking the press and so on, and she's about democracy. But as I said, the video I was looking for, which I hope to find, is a video of Mrs. Prasad Bisesa addressing a crowd, if memory serves me correctly. I think it was on a visit to New York, where she was telling them, don't trust any information that you get from the media in Trinidad and Tobago. Only take your information from social media and what you hear from the UNC. She was saying that I will continue to look for the video. I don't know. I think it might be in Google's archives. So perhaps when he comes later on, he might locate it and play it for you. But I recall that video. She was in a black gown, whatever it is, and addressing, and I'm sure it would have been played on this station before and you would have heard it, where she said, so, don't trust the media, don't listen to what you hear from mainstream media, only listen to social media. But now, all of a sudden, she is the de facto defender of mainstream media in Trinidad and Tobago. Again, and as I always say, if hypocrisy had a face, if hypocrisy was a party, it would be the UNC. Music could take a few calls because I said to have a video, not a video, an interview when we come back in the 8 o'clock hour.
Something I was to ask you before we open up the lines, you know. But normally, when the road is first milled, in order to be paid, and they just normally move away with the material. They don't normally leave that there. So come that and
they have well, usually they'd have a place that they would take it because they'd have the big truck. Mm-hmm. And then they have the wherever is the machine in front that is digging up and shooting it into the back of the truck one time.
So that was how come they managed to leave that there. Normally, like the first time I've ever seen that left at the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just saying, if the people there that really asked them for it, I think the better thing would have been to carry it by them than leave it there. Like just saying, just being devil's advocate here. I mean, don't leave it there for everybody to make mouth. Pay by me one time.
Right. But it'll be interesting to find out what happens to that material when after it's milled and so on. Because remember, that is basically material that would have been paid for when it was previously paid. All the millions it is that would have been spent. So I would imagine that there's some useful purpose that could be put to.
I don't know if I could...
And I'm even seeing someone here asking the question, who gave Barry Sagan Marad permission to dig out the Caroni River and sell the material when he made his first million? So...
Lord Father.
Oh, Lord.
So, guys, the lines are now open. Remember, we have a short time in which to take your calls, so we want you to keep it short and sweet, and I cannot emphasize on that enough. We want to keep it short and sweet so that everybody will have an opportunity to call and give their contribution. So the numbers are 342-0081, 466-5391. Those are the numbers. And remember to keep it tight, guys, so everybody can have an opportunity to get in. Caller, good morning.
Bruce and Dominic, good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning.
Dominic, you all right? Bruce, I tell all of the opposition leader is the scrap iron dealers. You understand? When I listen to her speaking about Venezuelan, I am so ashamed. You understand me, Bruce? You have to leave them alone. Dominic?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you agree? Leave them alone. You understand me? And she still continuing to say sunlight kill COVID. Bruce and Nick are gone.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Dominic, this is Ms. Chema. I want to put my number. What can get your offer, please?
I will give you the number.
Yeah.
And next time, load on your radio, Jama.
No, I just speaker alone. I'm not on speaker.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get a little feedback there.
Yeah. The name, please.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
And Dominic. All right, before I make my contribution, I want to say to Dominic, you handled that response to Wall Street like a boss. Go to the head of the class. I love it. And I want to say to that incident that you all showed, this is what happens. These people steal government property. I looked at it on Incheon last night, and I was appalled to hear that woman talking about poor people. So that's how you do it, Dominic and Bruce. Steal government property and say we poor. If that was in Beaton or Lavantil, that police would have carried down somebody. Gary Griffith, you deal with that, because that's what went on there. Can't be right. Have a good morning.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning again, Dominic, Bruce.
Yeah,
I just want to start off.
Morning.
Aisha quickly too. Morning, Aisha. Dominic, that logic you bring there in terms of the Venezuelan authorities didn't want the people in any kind of dehumanizing way. Listen, you're trying to bust the people brain out. Listen, there's intelligence it takes to treat with situations like these, you know. When you're done, so you're going to jump on the bandwagon and talk a set of nonsense about dictatorship and this and that, and look at the Venezuelan, how they're going back because of pressure and all this sort of nonsense. But I think Cuba get them a whole vaccine and a vaccine already help. They always want to depict everything as some kind of thing to be against the government. So I don't think they will have the capacity to understand that simple process and the request that was made and all what they explained about it is illegal to record this and that. Remember, they're speaking to the illiterati. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I lost that one. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic and Lucine.
Morning.
Yeah, see what's going on there? All of that's explained. You know, with that situation with the repatriation in the Venezuelan issue, everything is revealed now. The whole truth. It is rather unfortunate what the media does do on you. Dominic, you know what the youth, no? That Matt is involved, you know, making a big fuss about this whole situation. But remember what happened in Africa? Lucine?
See again?
You remember Nazi Lago?
Yeah.
When the situation National Go and CNC3, what was Mad Boys? And all of that. But I don't know now. I think sometime here we're going on right now. I think it's time for certain media houses to declare their hand to declare that look, we are affiliated with the UNC. We are UNC, we are station affiliated with the UNC and things. Just like how have a session, let a session be devoted to the PNM, or vice versa, because you see the stupid talk about we not for any party and the balance and the balance. I think it's not working at all. So I think for some of these radio stations, TV stations to declare their hand and say we are affiliated with a certain political party, I think that will make a thing. This nonsense about we are balanced and thing is not working out. It's too deceitful. Have a nice day.
Call us up 342-00814-665-391. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning Bruce, morning Dominic, morning to Sharon, morning to your listeners. You know, Dominic, the conversation you had relative to government property is one of the things I always am uncomfortable with in relation to accountability, where if you have things offside, who is responsible for, supervising and taking care of the security aspect of it? Because there are people out there who, to me, and it's always a case where, what are the consequences when government property go awry? And it's a conversation that, we need to go into when you all have time one day. So what is the procedure and what are the consequences when government property is just removed from sight? And I always believe that the security of those properties should always be in the hands of either the police or the army, and no security officers and that kind of thing. The other thing is, I don't take Hannah Prasad serious on anything she does again, simply because I've always said this. When you get a mandate of 2912 in 2010, and you can't catch yourself in 2021, I don't know what it will take for you to step down. Gentlemen, take care. Have a safe day.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning to my brother, Biswin.
Morning.
Dominic. I listened very attentively. And Kamala talking about the media. But she don't have a problem when the media don't bring the matter with Ramdin and Ramlogan. She don't have a problem. They're hiding that from the population of Trinidad and Tobago. That's one of the biggest problems. She should ask them to go to the court and report it to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If Kamala Prasad is a genuine woman. Understand? These are the things that I am looking at very carefully. And you see, and you see what the smell reported? That is government property. When they pass that machine and pick up those materials to use back to the road and mix it over and bring it back to the road, like government property. Understand? And the police have I don't know. You see, according to the saying, if it wasn't Lavantel, Vitam, Silat, men in the station already, and we have to say that we see it. Because you see, the police have been showing us this kind of double standard. It's wrong, regardless of who it is. You hear what I say? Because it's poor people. So thief government property to get rich. America rich, you over everybody else. Lock up anybody that's troubling government property. Have a blessed morning.
Caller, good morning.
Bruce and Dominic. Dominic.
Yes, ma'am.
This one is for you. The Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, the councillor. INC do nothing yet, Dominic and Bruce. You retire, you understand me, from because of your finance, You ain't do nothing yet. You're supposed to come out of the corporation. Dominic and Bruce, I work in the corporation and I put in some good years, you understand me, from 2018. You understand what I'm telling you about? Not 18 to 1988. And I just retired 2 years ago. He ain't do nothing yet, Dominic, you know that? He's still holding position in the corporation and he's on any what charge, not for Dominic, am I right?
Yes.
Bruce and Dominic, the opposition leader will never see that. You understand me? And to the journalists and them, I want to tell all you something. I don't know if that journalists out here, Dominic and Bruce, or it had joined Alice. You hear what I'm telling you about? Because things are supposed to bring out, they don't bring it out. You understand me? Let the opposition leader say something. Let the scrap and dealer say something. You see how fast it come out. Bruce and Dominic, I gone.
But to her point, Bruce, and you know, and this is why I always say the UNC will never be able to hold the moral high ground over the UNC, over the PNM. That their excuse for him not stepping down is they are looking at some incident that took place some years ago with Terry Rondon, where they said he had some assault case for assaulting some American soldier or something like that and whatever. And because he didn't step down, they are using that as the premise to say that Mr. Marach shouldn't step down either. But when it just stays so pathetic. It's just like the other day with the car story and the exemptions. So, well, if the Prime Minister say, well, to hell with that. I went and buy a car as soon as I could get another exemption. Okay, well then don't complain. Don't complain. But Kamala always step aside and clear your name. Step aside and clear your name. But apparently that doesn't apply to UNC officials when they do wrong. Only when an accusation against PNM, step aside and clear your name.
Right? Ah, boy, Dominic, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Central.
Dominic?
Yes, sir.
I make a statement that, you know, whenever things happen, the ministers are not to blame. Well, if the ministers are not to blame, but the Kamala's ministers are breaking. Okay? Blame all the technocrats and everything happening. I just hear you say, Rohan and Anane were, you know, hard hat and whatever coming on his site. So don't blame he when the road break up. Don't blame no ministers. Well, the Kamala's ministers are breaking now, right?
No, what we blaming Kamala and ministers for is thieving. We said they thief. Thieving when they thief down and to do it, but they work, they thief.
You run and gun.
Who you want me to blame? You want me to blame the permanent secretary when it is the minister thief? Come now, man, Central, better than that.
Oh, gosh. Hey. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hey, my brother, morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
The kind of stupidness that last caller now call and say, but give them a break. You have government officials from the last government before the court. Not the contractor, not nobody else. Them before the court. And still investigations going on. But that's the kind of stupidness they calling on the radio to say. And I'm calling on Matt this morning. When on social media and all them telecommunication and authority and all kind of things, it has another radio station right now carrying out the most nastiest campaign against Dr. Rowley, calling him a rapist and a pedophile. I ain't seen Matt, I ain't hearing Tata and all of them. Matt and Tata and all of them, all they get quiet, all they lost all the tongue. But all they come to jump in the dance so Kamala. But all they rock so take all the time because all they bias and all they other fuckers stupidness. And there some of these people have infiltrated some of the government institutions. They have the snitches and the technocrats in there only carrying back information to make back and all. That is all what's going on, you know. Right? And to that situation with that thieving thing, that is stealing, and that is what the opposition is all about. They use the excuse, well, people poor, and that is the excuse to thief and continue thieving. That is why they are dirty people and God don't want them in power. Great is the PNM and we will always prevail, brothers. Have a good day.
Yeah, man. Dominic, we're getting ready to go to a break. What I will do is, when we come back from the break, then I will send him so that it wouldn't cut off now.
Right.
Then I will send him the link so that we'll be able to go for as long as you
Right, so you got the email addresses,
yeah,
right?
I got it, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, we're going for a break and we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Poverty, but them thing I don't like.
Are you experiencing loss of vision, or are your glasses broken? At Value Optical, we're open, and we're here to help.
I want to address some issues. Big man, born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. Every ghetto youth has to have the Benz park outside. A pretty girl passing my drink with two black eyes. You can't see light, nice, so nice, but they're talking. All your business out the road and they're walking. One traffic inside your shoot, so them parking. And you put one bite on you, so we don't study them. Yo, because you're arguing health and strength, so what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up that. So we do bad mind people. And them protect me back, so what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up that. Hey, you see all bad mind people? Yo. Stay away. Away low. Away low. Big man I. Born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. True, I say ghetto, but ghetto inside of your mind. Pick up the hustlers, them way. Don't need no 9 to 5. You can't see life nice, so. But they're talking. All your business out the road and they're walking. But traffic inside your shoes for them barking. I want to see your hands up, so 1, 2, and put your hands out in the air right now. Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. Going over bad man people, starting with vehicles, and then protect me back. So what we do? Mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up, mash up. How we do? All negative vibe. Stay away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Away from them. Stay away from them. Away from them.
Are you experiencing loss of vision, or are your glasses broken? At Value Optical, we're open, and we're here to help. You can have your urgent eyeglasses in 3 days with packages starting at $695. When you visit us, be mindful of the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please call us toll-free 800-2020 for expert advice on your vision needs or to book your appointment. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Hey, you keeping safe? I hope so. I don't really know what will happen when everything will back up, but the line had to go on. But in the meantime, just come online with the live wire. I'm on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. Or you could check us out on the live on Facebook at the Street 919 FM or on YouTube at Street TV. Don't forget to share the live. That might just be as important as you keeping safe. So mask up, sanitize, tune in to the Street 919 FM, live on the live wire, Saturday afternoon, 5 to 8 p.m. Don't worry, I gonna be home in time for the curfew. Keep safe.
You matter. I matter. We all matter. And Tobago matters. Join us as we bring our THA community meetings to you virtually, starting Saturday 3rd July every fortnight until Saturday 11th September 2021, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Catch us live on Tobago Channel 5, TTT, Pulse 89.5 FM, Radio Tambourine 92.7 FM, Street 919 FM, and Office of the Chief Secretary and the Tobago Channel 5 Facebook pages. Listen out for every week's topic and send your questions to 688-4040 or mainfo@tha.gov.tt. That's mainfo@tha.gov.tt. Join us as we discuss Tobago Matters, because Tobago matters.
From the moment you first crossed eyes
It's a girl.
To their very first bowl of cereal. Open wide. Going into parenthood means nourishing your little one to reach their fullest potential. With Nestum Nature's Selections infant cereals, give 30% more whole grain with 15 vitamins and minerals, including iron, all with no added sugar. Nature's Selection. Give your baby the best. Nestum, from 6 months onwards.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in San Luis Grande is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Sundays, Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word from 1 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Wednesdays, we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook, email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay, it's a whole new way. Online, pay your bill one time. Yes, there is a whole new way to quick pay for your electricity. Yes, they made it easy.
Just enter your account number.
4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division? Yes, sir. I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries. Excuse me, sir? Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488? Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries. So I can buy a battery for $488? Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive. Which part? Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools. Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Ronnie, you have $488 to lend, man?
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of 21st July 2021 stands at new positive cases 272. Total active cases 5,782. Total recovered patients 29,841. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present 36,626. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Live within your means. Yes, this is one that you've likely heard time and time again, and for good reason, because of how important it is and the significance it can have on your retirement plan. If you want to avoid taking on debt, going broke, and pushing back your chances of retiring at a reasonable age, then it is in your best interest to make sure that your overall spending is less than what you are earning to make sure you are not jeopardizing your financial future. It's always easier said than done, but it's also much easier to practice when you stick to your values and don't worry about how others are spending their money. That was your financial tip brought to you by The Street 91.9 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back on the inside if you're just joining us. You're locked on to the Street 909 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy, Dominic, Romain, and Bruce Wayne. So Dominic, I just sent the invite. Dominic. Hello.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, you just mute all the way out, boy.
That's what?
I say you just mute all the way out. You didn't hear when I calling you. Yeah, so I send the invite.
Right.
Right, so as soon as he is ready to come in, it should not be a problem.
All right, just now, I'm sending you another one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seen a call here. Hold on a sec. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, concerning the papers and the news thing, making noise about not telling them anything or whatever. Sometimes the government has something good going on. You may hear it once, you never hear it again. The boats came in. Some of us didn't even know the boat came in there, say nothing there, do nothing. Sometimes they give them articles, they read it once. And when you see the church and all of that stuff come on, they were hearing it 3 times a day, 3 days a week, and it's going on and on and on. I remember even when Dr. Rowley launched his book, although that ain't government program, but to tell you how they think. Somebody who was responsible or helping or doing something coming from the ceremony. Reporters asked them what you had to say. She has nothing to say. And she just from there and as a reporter or whatever she is. So let us stay there. What they're scrambling about. They're not doing it even. PNM doing so much things, they don't highlight it at all. Okay. On and on and on. I remember you went Dr.
Right.
You got that one right, Bruce?
Yeah. Right. Nice. So it has been sent.
All right, so I'll let him know.
Yeah. Right, so let me say good morning to you guys on YouTube, also everyone that's on Facebook. Pleasant good morning to you all.
Bruce, you have your set ready for next week Friday, right?
Is that right?
Christmas in July.
Uh-huh.
Bruce will play that too. We can't have other stations taking our listeners on that day because people feeling they need to hear a little, Scruncher or a little Kenny G or whatever, So, I think Miss Felix should come in studio and bring a little pastel,
Yeah,
something
sweet.
Yes.
You can't say salt today. You have to be sweet.
Yeah. But she can't drink sorrel, so if she have access to any, she could bring it and we'll be happy to take it off her hands.
Well, I see. Let me admit our guest, one of our guests. Yes.
Right. So we on.
Yes. Morning.
Morning, Angie. Right. Graham, may you hear us?
See, the audio is still connecting.
All right.
Yes, morning.
Hi, morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Morning, morning. How you going?
Morning, I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Can't complain.
Very good.
Good.
Right, so this is Graham Sweet, who is the Business Development and Marketing Coordinator for the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, Bruce, so since certain individuals wanted to know what's going on and stuff.
Oh.
Right. Yes. So Graham is here. He's going to be discussing some of the upcoming events for the National Trust and some other issues, given the fact that since more or less we're still under lockdown, and there's limitations in terms of what persons can do recreation-wise.
Yeah.
But the National Trust has a number of things that persons who are so desirous can avail themselves of until everything else is opened back up and all the entertainment spaces and so on. So Graham, I know we have a virtual tour coming up, so I guess we can start with that.
All right. Well, virtual open day, we should say.
Right.
And that virtual open day is an opportunity for the public to get insider view of what the operations of the National Trust is like. So the National Trust was created by an act of Parliament, and the two main pillars of what the trust does is, one is to secure legal protections for important historical tangible heritage. So that could be a building, it could be a natural resource like a mud volcano. We have a large stone with hieroglyphics on it in the forest from our Amerindian ancestors. So we protect those tangible heritage assets that are important to the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Right. The other important element of the trust operations is public education and providing access to these heritage assets so that the public can get an appreciation of what our forefathers would have invested in building Trinidad into what it is today, but also a cautionary tale about, notwithstanding what has been accomplished today, there's still a lot more to be done. So it kind of gives the society a heads up that, continue persevering to seek a better life for and a better way of life for the society.
Yes. And I can certainly tell you in the short time that I've been with the trust, I've come to realize that it is a well-kept secret. A lot of people, when you mention the National Trust to them, they have no idea what it is about.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah. So that's so that is part of the reason why we're having this virtual open day on Monday. People can visit our Facebook page, National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, and they will get a link to register to attend that virtual open day. And in that virtual open day, we speak to all of those things and initiatives that the trust does and how people can get involved either as members or as volunteers, because we do a lot of work. The trust has to monitor upwards of 43 buildings that are already legally listed, plus there are several hundred heritage asset sites throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and those need to be monitored as well, because some of them are on private property, and they are at the risk of being lost to expediency if someone wants to develop a building or change the use of a particular space. The easiest thing to do is to demolish a old structure there.
Yeah.
So part of our role in monitoring that, it's several hundred assets throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and the trust has a very, very small staff. So part of what we do is networking with regional corporations and other interested stakeholders to try to cover our mandate as best as possible.
What are some of the events that the trust has to offer? Because I know we have usually had it not been for COVID, we would have had a number of tours ongoing.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
So I mean, notwithstanding COVID, we are still preparing for when things ease up, for want of a better term, and we can begin to take people out again. So we actually have a list of tours that we've kind of prepared. We're kind of preparing on Agburner. And these include tours to Piparo, tours to Erin, tours to Labre, tours to Lopino, Flanagan Town. And all of these spaces present interesting stories about our history, whether it deals with the history of cocoa, deals with the history of personalities within these communities and how these communities were developed. Another important activity we have coming up is first what we're calling Ice Age Trinidad. People would be interested to know that once upon a time there was an ice age in Trinidad. Trinidad was frozen over. Yeah. And through research from paleontologists and archaeologists, we've identified fossils from animals that lived during that time, up to 11,000 years ago. So they, in the mid-1900s, when energy exploration was taking place at a pace in Trinidad, in Forest Reserve, one of the wells being dug there, they unearthed a number of fossils. At that time, locally, we did not have the capacity to do the research and investigate what these fossils represent. So they were sent abroad for evaluation, and through time, we lost sight of them. But more recently, we and I say we meaning Trinidad and Tobago, reactivated that interest in them, and these fossils actually started being repatriated to Trinidad and are stored at Life Sciences Museum at IWER. And what they've identified were, for example, one of the fossils is from a animal that was family to camels. So ages ago, Trinidad and Tobago had camels.
Right.
One of the fossils is related to a ground slug, and that animal was, bigger than the average man. It was enormous.
Right.
Another fossil is an ancestor to our local armadillo. But that fossil, based on the size of the scale they have, they realized that armadillo was big as a Volkswagen Beetle. Okay. So there are a lot of interesting insights coming out of those discoveries. Right. So what we're doing, because part of the challenge is locally we didn't have, and still don't to a certain extent have the capacity to do all of this excavation and research on our own. So we need to partner with international organizations, and in the fossils, the Ice Age Trinidad workshop that we're planning, which is scheduled for the end of August. We're partnering with the Los Angeles-based Labre Pit Museum, so that they would have some of the experts coming down to teach the people who enroll in the workshop how to recognize and how to care for fossils. And we will, through that training, we'll be able to identify persons who can volunteer for subsequent excavation work that is planned for the first quarter of next year. So we're using the repatriation of these fossils as an opportunity to stimulate local interest in those fields of paleontology and archaeology and research, and so that the country can build its own capacity to be able to independently do some of these excavations and research. And it's important to know because when you do the research and you determine what caused these animals to cease to exist, was it something man-made, was it environmental? It helps you begin to understand what changes we can do today. Are we on the same course with global warming and other environmental challenges? Are we on the same course for ourselves and our contemporary? So it gives us an insight into things that we can take heed of to avoid a reoccurrence of some of those extinctions.
So as we are on the topic of fossils, let's touch a little bit on Banwari Man. A lot of people, I'm sure, don't know about Banwari.
Right. Yeah. So Banwari Man, but I believe more recent analysis of it identified it as probably female.
Okay.
So Banwari person are the remains of an indigenous person that was found in Banwari Trace in something called a midden. And the midden is a large mound of earth and organic debris and a lot of shells. It may be 20 to 30 feet tall. And it was believed that this, in the area where it was found, it used to be many, many years ago swamp.
Right.
So people could actually canoe between there and South America, San Fernando. And so the composition of the midden shows a lot of shellfish, so it gives us some insight into the dietary interests of the Amerindian persons.
Right.
And the other important part of Banwari, of the Banwari person, is that it is believed to be among one of the oldest set of remains of indigenous people in the region. So it dates back to between 2,000 and 5,000 years ago. Right. So it gives us another interesting insight about putting together the pieces of the puzzle about what the lifestyle and lives of indigenous persons were. And we have a very vibrant existing indigenous community in Trinidad, mainly northeast and south. And this kind of helps them reconnect with their own heritage and adds to our understanding of what that culture was like, and gives us a better sense of appreciating, the diversity within our own society. So that's one of the advantages of this heritage conservation, that it gives you a fuller appreciation of all the pieces and puzzles and persons that have come together through time to shape what Trinidad looks like.
Nice. Now, also under the remit of the National Trust is Nelson Island, and by extension, 5 islands.
Yes.
And we also have tours for that, so you can speak to that.
Right.
As well.
So Nelson Island is one of those unique places. It's one of a group of 5 islands just off the coast of Carnage in the vicinity of the fishing depot. And it's unique in that it's maybe 500 meters by 100 meters. And on it, you have history dealing with indentured immigrants. So all indentured immigrants after the Fatal Razak, all indentured immigrants who came to Trinidad landed on Nelson Island as a first stop. So that's 100 and something thousand persons. Everyone who can trace their ancestry back to indentureship, their forefathers landed in Trinidad on Nelson Island. Right. There's also the history associated with World War II, where during World War II, Austrians and persons of German heritage were seen as potential enemies of the state. And for a brief period, the men and women and children of that ancestry, they were quarantined on Nelson Island and one of the sister islands, Caledonia, for a brief period. Also during World War II, Butler was imprisoned there. Yes. He had just come out of prison for the labor riots, but the powers that be felt that this war, they didn't need any distractions from Butler. And so the safest thing to do was to give him a little cottage on the island where he's off the mainland and can't be causing trouble. so that they can focus on the war effort. So Butler spent the entire World War II there on Nelson Island.
Right.
Also, later to that, during the 1970 Black Power movement, the leaders of that were when they were captured, they were imprisoned on Nelson Island for several months. So the island, small in itself, touches on all these different eras within our history. More recently, with the trust redeveloping it, we've added some technology, for want of a better term, where the island is completely isolated and cut off infrastructurally from Trinidad, from the mainland. So we've built a desalination plant. So the island now has its own water supply. We've erected a solar power system, so the island now has its own electricity. So where visitors who come to the island can experience a fair amount of the utility amenities there while learning about it.
Right.
There's one other important development with the island, and it ties in with a recent announcement from the U.S. Embassy. It's the U.S. Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation, where they announced that the National Trust, a project from the National Trust, will be the recipient of a $200,000 U.S. grant.
Yes.
That grant is for research on heritage assets and the potential impact of climate change. And Nelson Island is one of the target locations where that research is to be done. Nelson Island, and then our heritage assets in downtown Port of Spain. So this research will create a couple of things. One would be accurate, scientifically sound models or designs of the existing heritage infrastructure. And it will be able to make projections for what the likely impact of sea level rise can be on these locations.
Right.
That's important because these locations exist side by side with government buildings, side by side with private commercial buildings, side by side with residential communities. So anything impacting our heritage assets will likely impact all of these other institutions. And so this research is beneficial not just for the National Trust, getting an understanding of what are the things that can put its assets at risk, but that data will also be available to all of these other important stakeholders. So that will be a very important project. It's tentatively scheduled to kick off in October. And when it starts, it will also have the benefit of knowledge transfer. So the U.S. University that is coming down with the particular technology also has facilities for training local persons on the use of it.
Right.
And then it will also require a lot of stakeholder engagement. So communities will also become actively involved in the process as well.
Right. So what can folks expect on Monday, and how can they access it?
Okay, great. So on Monday, as I mentioned, on the National Trust Facebook page, persons can go there to get the link that allows them to register for that virtual open day workshop. And once you're registered, we take you through a deeper insight into some of the things the trust does. I talked about the two key layers of functionality being the legal protection of properties and then the public education. So we drill down into a bit more about what is entailed in both areas. The public education component has issues of doing tours. It has youth Heritage Keepers program, which is a youth development program associated with the trust. It speaks to community development and how we're using heritage assets to collaborate with communities to build micro enterprises within communities. And then it speaks to, on the legal side, how we work with property owners and state agencies to ensure that heritage assets are protected, but at the same time, owners of these heritage assets have the opportunity to benefit from our experience and expertise in proper conservation and preservation of these facilities. So people then have the opportunity to join as a member. You become part of the guardians that are protecting these. And then it speaks to, on the legal side, how we work with property owners and state agencies to ensure that heritage assets are protected, but at the same time, owners of these heritage assets have the opportunity to benefit from our experience and expertise in proper conservation of these facilities. So people then have the opportunity to join as a member. You become part of the guardians that are protecting these. And there are also opportunities for you to support the trust as a volunteer. So you can join as a volunteer and take part in different types of activities, assisting with tours, doing research on properties, photography. There's a whole range of skill sets that the trust utilizes in executing its work, and volunteers with these skill sets can be, they can register and become part of what we're trying to build at the trust.
I think there's a prize to be won.
Yeah, so when you as you register, we have a number of different prizes, and these would include free tours to our driving tours, which I mentioned earlier, to Erin or Flanagan Town. We'll have prizes for tours to Millfleur, which we haven't opened to the public as yet, but that is something on the near horizon.
Yes.
And then we also have tours to Nelson Island. Obviously, these prizes can be claimed when the restrictions are lifted, but there are also kind of book prizes as well that can be made available immediately to persons. So it's a win-win situation registering to view to take part in the open day session on Monday.
Right. Excellent. And as we prepare to wrap up, I think are we still allowing photography sessions for persons who are considering getting married and who may want to utilize the facilities at Millfleur?
Right, so we're taking reservations. People can make inquiries and make reservations now, but because of the limitations on movement and whatnot, we can't do it they can't actually do it at the moment, but we're certainly entertaining reservations for those types of.
Right. So just give them the contact information again for the trust and our different social media handles and
Right. So for the open day, you can visit the National Trust Facebook page, National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago Facebook page.
Right.
For persons who want more information, you can email us at info@nationaltrust.tt. So those are the two main avenues. On the Facebook page as well, you can message us. We're very prompt with responding to messages within 24 hours. So we have to use all of these remote avenues for communication, but we're on the ball and we're available almost 24/7 available to interested members of the public.
Yes, so you can follow the National Trust on Facebook, and we have an IG page as well, Instagram.
Yeah, same National Trust TT. The Facebook and IG pages are interlinked, and we also post there all the latest updates. So when tours are actually resumed, we post there giving the timing and scheduling and pricing and whatnot. So by following the page, you can keep pretty much up to date with what's happening at the trust. You'll get information there as well about puzzles workshop that I talked about, and updates when we start the research on the risks of global warming and sea level rise on our heritage assets in Port of Spain and Carana.
Nice. So when I come off here, I'm going to go and register, So.
Yes.
Yes. Graham, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem at all. My pleasure.
Yeah, man, thanks again.
Certainly, we will call on you again when things open back up so that you can share with the people many offerings of the trust so that they can partake in it.
Excellent. No problem at all. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye.
Yes, Dominic.
Right. So that was a little bit of insight into the National Trust. I hope certain people were listening.
So, when you could organize as the place open up and thing and organize.
For yourself.
Work tour.
Yeah. Well, if things open up by Christmas, they have the trust has an event called Ponchacrem and Paran, which is held down on Nelson Island. And
I'll call you after. When I finish, I ain't gonna talk that on air, but I'll call you after.
Right. Yeah. And then for Carnival, they have a traditional Carnival event also held on Nelson Island, where they bring different traditional mask characters like the Midnight Robber and the Mukojumbi and all of them. And then they have a pan side and DJ and stuff Really, really nice. Really, really nice. I mean, I attended
Of
last
course, they
year.
have a concert and a DJ. I'll call you after.
Yeah. Yes, I showed it out there, you know. As I said, trust me, it was because we were rented the one of the water taxis to do it. And I can tell you last year the event was ram out till the point that we had to turn away people because we just couldn't facilitate anybody else. And the tours are also usually sold out. The tours are all inclusive, so we provide meals and so on, and usually a whole day tour, and it takes you to parts of Trinidad and Tobago that because we have tours in Tobago as well, the main ridge and the waterfall and all of these different things that people are not aware of. So it's a side of Trinidad that you can see Trinidad from a different perspective. It's not just about going to take pictures and so on, but you have the educational aspect as well, where our heritage preservation and research officers would provide detailed information on the sites that we're going to. So, yeah. So I look forward to seeing persons following the Instagram page, following the Facebook page, and joining the trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a part.
Yeah, man. I could see myself taking a few tours, carrying them children. Yeah. Well, I can't say children again. It's only one little one now. Mr. Man, you go on taking some of that, man.
Yeah. You'll enjoy it, trust me. As somebody who experienced a few of it, I can tell. Yeah.
I really remember hearing you saying you was but I ain't gonna talk that here.
Yeah, I expect somebody who call Aisha program later.
Oh gosh. What you gonna do?
Exactly. What you gonna do?
Pressure, boy, pressure.
Continue to take the call. I think we still have some time left.
Yeah. So you can call us at 342-0081 and 466-5391. Remember to keep it short. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Long time I haven't called this station, but it piqued my interest. Because I was listening, Dominic, I was just browsing through YouTube, and that was yesterday or the day before, and I saw the England Trust, and that they have so much. Oh gosh, it was a beauty to browse through that trust. But what I understand is that the trust there by the sites. People donate their houses and the areas after they die or whatever to the trust. I want to know, in the Trinidad Trust, do the National Trust, do they own these sites or they just maintain the sites?
Okay.
Dominic? Dominic on?
No, he's right there. Dominic? She wants to know if they own the sites or if they maintain the sites.
Right, so some of the sites fall under the direct purview of the National Trust. That would include Nelson Island, also the Five Islands. We look with things are being put in place so that we can actually get, legal title over running it. Milfleur is also under the National Trust as well. The Banwari site, even though the skeletal remains are no longer there. I believe it's now at UE, but the National Trust also manages that site as well. Those are the main sites that are under the purview of the National Trust, and then, some of the other sites we have tours that deal with like the temples and so on, and we would work with the persons who are responsible for the management of it. But the main ones under the National Trust would be Milfleur, Nelson Island, the Five Islands, and the Banwari site. We have certain other heritage sites that we are looking at, and the intention is to approach the government sometime in the near future with a view to seeing how best we can make an arrangement for us to get some level of control over these sites.
I didn't hear him fully, thing, but I kind of get it. So people, I don't know, if it's private property, people could anyhow, I just hear him too well. Better to ask that.
It's just I'm not hearing too well, so I'll listen on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's private property, they just they just get permission to use it or something like that. I'm guessing. But what I also wanted to, I just went on the site because this is something I kicked my head, and they just have, if you're interested or if you're going, is that considered registering, or do I have to do something else? Hello?
Yeah, he's listening to you on his phone, so he could reply to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I guess you could also listen off here as well.
Yeah, because it's just have interested and going. So I want to know if you press going, if it's that is considered as registering, or if I have to do something else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. 3420081 4665391. Caller, good morning.
Bruce and Dominic.
Hey.
I want to ask the journalist a question this morning. Could you tell me when is the two biggest fraud case in Trinidad and Tobago? It's supposed to be, I don't know if it's next week, Bruce? Dominic? Oh, Dominic.
Morning.
Yeah, Bruce, you know those islands Dominic speaking about?
Yeah.
Well, boy, I will be down there, boy. Dominic, boy, when things open back, we will invite you down there, right? You hear, Dominic? Bruce?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I want to hear, the yes thing on the annoying side. All right.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, with respect to the question put forward by the previous caller, right? Mm-hmm. So as I said, we would have established relationship with the sites that the trust doesn't have direct oversight of. Mm-hmm. We have relationships with persons who manage these. So yeah, some of these are in fact private property, but the tours, there is a fee attached to the tour, but all of that is included. So then we would make whatever arrangements with these persons if we have to pay a fee, because, for instance, the Blackman family, gosh, what was the Calypsonia's name again? Bruce, help me. Abby Blackman's father, Shorty.
Shorty?
Yeah, we actually have an event with them where you could go to their ranch and stay overnight for a couple of days and so on. And they have a bonfire event and so on, and they give you tours of their ranch and all of that. Yeah.
Nice.
So we have those arrangements as well. But one of the responsibilities of the trust, as well as Graham would have mentioned, has to do with heritage preservation. So you would find that there may be old houses, old buildings in the country that are privately owned, and some of these may be at risk at being demolished. So once the sites are listed as heritage sites by the trust, it means that would prevent these sites from being demolished. So we've had instances where persons have objected to their properties being listed because they're saying, if it is they decide to sell it, and then it could impact on people wanting to buy it, because they may the potential buyer who just want to buy it to tear it down.
Okay. What's the name of the Facebook page again, Dominic? Somebody's asking.
National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. So when you go on Facebook, National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, and you do the do, and you're inside.
So sometimes it requires a little bit of moral suasion where we would talk to the people. For instance, the one of the Magnificent Seven, the Prada House between Millfleur and I think it's the Catholic Archbishop, the big White House, yeah. So we've been having discussions with the owners, because most people aren't aware that someone actually lives in that house. I wasn't aware of that until recently. So we've been having discussions with them to try and see how best we can, what contribution the trust can make to try and improve at least the external facade, to make it a little more palatable for not just international tourists, but local tourists as well. And now that the borders have been reopened and tourists may start coming again, they want to make sure that we have the best offerings for them. So there's consideration to make that entire block of the Savannah Heritage a World Heritage Site, but discussions are ongoing. As I said, we can probably have Graham and one of our HPRO officers come back in at another time and they could give further information.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah.
I'm trying to get the page to send it out.
Yeah.
So guys, you can call us up. We have a couple more minutes again. 342-0081 466-5391. We take your calls. Right. So, yeah, man. Right. So I have a caller here.
You got it?
Yeah, I got the page, but I'm trying to copy the link now. Caller, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning to you, Brucey.
Hi, good morning, Miss Anne-Marie. How are you this morning?
I'm good, darling, and good morning to my quiet storm. Dominic.
Morning.
I ain't trusting you now, nah? I don't want to cross your path at all. You are a quiet storm. The quiet storm in Europe is real pressure. Anyhow, I just want to take this opportunity to wish my nephew Sasha a very happy birthday today. From his girlfriend, his children, his mom, his dad, all his aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters, and the rest of the whole Remy's and Young family. So happy birthday to you. We know him as Brendan. Happy birthday to you, Brendan. All blessings to you and have a great day. That's Sharon friend, you know. She go book me because I ain't tell she, but it's all right. I will take my book. Only have a great day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Take care. Right, so did I send it? Did it go through? Yes, it did. I didn't see it show up here yet, but I sent it to the Facebook chat. Right. So I sent it to I could send it out on YouTube as well. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Excellent.
So let's see what's going on. All right. So we should be good to go there. So as we continue to take your calls.
I know we have some of our members who are already, or some of our listeners who are already members of the trust.
Okay.
Because I would have seen some of them on a few of our tours. So, yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
How home?
Okay, man. Home okay.
Dominic.
Morning.
When you want something, and you have to work hard for it?
That's right.
You have to work hard for it? So I want to sing this song.
Yes.
When God bless a man, nobody can stop him. When God bless a man, nobody can stop him. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So guys on YouTube, let me know if you all seeing the link that I just put up. Let me know if you all seeing it there. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic and Bruce.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I just want to focus on something. What they really had to do is something. Or they had to deal with these so-called UNC trolls on this on Facebook page about it. Very, very, very disrespectful. And I think I had to block these fellas on them because I don't know. They put on a damper on the whole thing. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
Morning again, Bruce.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one. To the big boss. Yeah, that's one. The government promoting job, right? Well, I'll come up with a little reference. You can't want to play duty and play job, you know. So, calling on the big boss could you fill a tune there quick and join in the advertising campaign? Bring a job with them. And if people know you can't play the great job, I just tell them a share that. And the more papers, only start to construct the Titans of Democracy newspapers as just for them. Have a nice day.
Yeah, man, take care. Oh, gosh. Okay, so saying they didn't see it, let me see how I could take our next call in the meantime. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, my dear. How are you this morning?
Hi, okay. And where's Dominic next to you there?
Dominic right here. Dominic home and I in the studio.
Okay then. Who tell Dominic to stay home today? He asked me permission to stay home. I would like to know. Dominic?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you going, darling? You all right?
I'm good.
Okay then, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I just always tell you resemble my brother, you know. You know that? Yeah, so how are you going? Good?
Yes, we do, ma'am. We good.
All right. Well, all have a nice day. And Sharon, good morning. Mommy sauce. All the Titan. Stay safe. You hear?
Yes, my dear.
And good morning. My lovely Prime Minister, good morning. You and your wife. Okay, bye-bye. And everybody have a nice day. Eh?
You too, my dear.
All right then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If I could squeeze in one more here. Caller, good morning.
Morning again, Dominic and Bruce. You see how wicked these people are named? The defendant Douglas politics. You go up on Facebook. I like the rest forget. Vanilla topping. You think the easy, these wicked Vermont on them, and we have to rock back and take that, flush it from them? Oh gosh, my brothers. We have to do more than pray. The wicked and bad, and they were never about country, these blinking chief on them. And had the country in this position or with the virus likewise. They love money bad but afraid jail. Time longer than time. You go bust it on them before they out of context of God.
So guys, that's all the time we have for today. The daily word for today is I am in awe when I behold God in all things. Beauty surrounds me. In nature, I see glorious colors, infinite life expressed in myriad forms on land, in the water, and in the air. I hear birds singing and enjoy fragrant flowers blooming. I stand in wonder at human creations, admiring the vision, skill, and power used to bring ideas to fruition. How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Genesis 28:17. So that's all the time we have for today, guys. I hope you gained a lot of information from our interview, and I know we'll be seeing some of you on those tours because I will be there myself.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dominic, my friend,
look forward to welcoming people soon at Millsville.
Yes.
I will be back on Sunday, and this Sunday I am going to deal with an IB, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am studying Kamla and them this Sunday. Yeah, they can talk what they want to talk. Sunday we talking and
Nice. All right, guys. So Dominic, as we say, ciao.
Ciao.
We out.